Hi everyone, we're going to do the Unit 10 End of Unit Study Guide. So the volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. So question 1, a spherical tank has a radius of 5 feet. Frankie filled it with gasoline at a rate of 25 cubic feet per minute. At this rate, how long will it take Frankie to completely fill the tank without it overflowing? Round your answer to the nearest minute. So I know that I'm talking about a sphere. So my formula is volume equals 4/3 pi radius cubed. And I know that the radius is 5. So volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times 5 cubed. So I'm going to split with my Desmos. All right, and I get a volume of 523.3 repeating, and that's going to be cubic feet. So I know that the tank fills at 25 cubic feet per minute. So cubic feet in a minute. So 25 cubic feet every minute. And I want to know how long it's going to take for 523.3 repeating. So I'm going to divide by 25. And then I'm going to multiply by 523.5. Not 0.5, 0.3. And I get 20.932. So the nearest minute would be 21 minutes. Okay, a cone, a sphere, and a cylinder are all shown in the diagram below. Each figure has a radius of r units and a height that is twice the radius. Which of the following statements is true? Select all that apply. So the volume of the cylinder is 3 times the volume of the cone. Well, I know that's true because we know that the formula here is 1/3 pi times radius squared times the height, and we know this one is pi times radius squared times the height. So that means that the cylinder is 3 times the cone. The volume of the sphere is half the volume of the cylinder. Well, I disagree. And we can check that if we want to. We can put a number in here. So we can make it 3. And just check to see if that works. So 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 3 cubed. And then 3.14 times 3 squared times 6. And we know that it's definitely not half. Okay, this volume of the sphere is twice the volume of the cone. Well, let's check to see if that works. So we know this one right here would be 3, and that would be 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. So I get 56.52. So the sphere is twice the volume of the cone. So let's see. is 56.52 times 2. That checks out. So C is correct. All right, the volume of the sphere is 3 times the volume of the cone. Well, that's not true. It was 2 times the volume of the cone. The volume of the cone is half the volume of the cylinder. Nope, it's 1/3 the volume of the cylinder. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, Aiden is comparing 2 different cylindrical storage containers. He has one that has a height of 20 and a diameter of 12. And then he has another one that has a diameter of 18 and a height of 24. And they want to know which container is larger and by how much. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 6 squared, because I have to take the diameter divided by 2 times 20, and I get 2,260.8. Then I'm going to do this one. So 3.14 times 9 squared times 24, and I get 6,104.16. And then I have to find out how much larger, so I'm going to subtract them. 6,104.16 minus 2,260.8. So my answer is 3843.36. And that would be inches cubed. All right, what is the volume of the cylinder below? So we've got volume, that's a horrible V. Volume equals pi times radius squared times the height. So volume equals 3.14 times 8 squared times 2. And I get the volume is 401.92 centimeters cubed. What's the volume of the sphere? So I know I've got volume equals 4/3 pi times radius cubed. So volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times 6 cubed. And I get a volume of 904.32. And it doesn't give me a unit, so I'm going to do units cubed. All right, what is the volume of the cylinder? So they're giving me the diameter, so I have to find the radius. So that's going to be, what, 6.5? So I have volume equals pi times radius squared times the height. And I get a volume of 5,173.935. That's going to be inches cubed. All right, a picture, so there's a picture on the test. A picture shows a jar of salmon eggs that are used for fishing bait. The jar is shaped like a cylinder with a height of 6 centimeters and a diameter of 4.8. So let's draw it. Okay, it says that the salmon eggs are shaped like spheres with an average diameter of 0.75. Approximately 70% of the jar's volume is occupied by salmon eggs. What is the best estimate for the number of salmon eggs in the jar? So we have to find the volume of the jar. So I got 2.4 for my radius. And I get 108.5184. And that's going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, I know that 70% of the jar is full, so I'm going to multiply this by 70, so 0.70. So I know that I'm filling 75.96288. Okay? So that's the volume, the total volume I'm filling. So then I need to figure out the volume of a salmon egg. So we know that the diameter is 0.75. So we have volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times half of 0.75 is 0.375, and that's going to be cubed. So let's check that. So the volume for each egg is 0.22078125 centimeters cubed. So now I have to divide this into that. I have to see how much space it's going to take up. So I'm actually going to round my numbers to make it easier for me. So I have 76 divided by 0.22. And I get 345 eggs. That seems like a lot of eggs. All right. Let's try the next one. So we have a cone. So 1/3 pi radius squared height 1/3 times 3.14 times 2.5 because they're giving us the diameter times 13. And I get 85. All right, next one. It says, for a picnic, Julie brings a cylindrical cooler jug, and she's filled it with cool lemonade. She also brings paper cone cups, in which to serve the lemonade. Given the dimensions of the jug and the cups, how many paper cups of lemonade does the jug contain? So I have to find the volume of the cylinder. So volume equals pi times radius squared times height. So volume equals 3.14 times 16 squared times 52. All right, we get a really big number. All right, then we got to find the volume of the cone. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. So they're giving us the diameter is 8. So the radius is going to be 4. And the height is 12. .96. All right, so now I have to see how many of these fit into that. All right, so I'm going to do 4,800 divided by 201. And I get 208 cups. All right, next one, it says, what is the volume of the firework? So we're trying to find the volume of a cylinder and a cone put together. So let's start with the cylinder. So 3.14, the radius is going to be 1.5, and the height is 9. And I get 63.585. That's going to be inches cubed. Then we're going to find the volume of the cone. So 1/3 pi radius squared h. And I get 8.2425. So then I have to put them together because the cone is on top of the cylinder. So we're going to add them. So 63.6 plus 8.2, and we get 71.8 inches cubed. All right, number 11, a honeydew melon is shaped like a sphere with a diameter of 9. What is the closest value to the volume of the melon? So we've got 4/3 pi radius cubed, 4/3 times 3.14 times, okay, if they gave us a diameter of 9, the radius is going to be 4.5 cubed. And I get 381.51 inches cubed. All right, Carlos built a snowman solely of spherical snowballs. So we have a top, middle, bottom. And it says the radius is 6, 5, and then 4. So I have to find the volume of each. So 4 divided by 3 times, times 3.14 times 6 cubed. I get 904.32. Then I want to find the volume of the next one. So I get 523.33, and then I want to find the volume of the last one. And I get 267.95. And if they want to know the total volume, I'm going to add that up. So 267.95 plus 523.33 plus 904.32. And I get 1,695.6 feet cubed. It's a lot of snow. All right, you have a cylindrical cake roll with a radius of 6 that's been cut into 10 identical pieces. What is the volume of each piece of cake? So we have pi times radius squared h divided by 10. So 3.14 times 6 squared times 24, all divided by 10. And I get 271.296 inches cubed. All right, Rohana wants to find the volume of a sphere with a radius of 8 feet. Write an equation that could be used to solve the value in cubic feet. So it's a sphere, so it's going to be volume equals 4/3 pi radius cubed. So volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times 8 cubed. And they just want the equation, they don't want the answer. Volume of a cylinder is 36 pi cubic feet. The height is 7. What is the radius of the base? So I've got volume equals pi radius squared h, and the volume is 36 pi. So I have pi, and then we don't know the radius, but we know the height is 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the pi on each side. So I'm going to divide by pi on each side. Well, I'm going to divide by 7 pi. So I'm left with, what's 36 divided by 7? And then to get rid of the radius squared, I have to square root it. And I get 2.3 for the radius. All right, and the last question, a cylinder has a volume of 2,400 meters cubed. What is the volume of a cone with the same radius and height? Well, I know that if the volume of a cylinder, I know that the volume of a cone is 1/3 the volume of that cylinder. So 1/3 times 2,400. And I'm going to get 800. If you have any questions, come see me in the morning and I'll be glad to help you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.